Hello, and a quiet welcome back to the Dusty Codex. Our stories journey across thousands of years and thousands of miles, from the lost cities of Central Asia to the frozen frontiers of the Roman Empire. We are always curious to know where our stories are travelling to and where your corner of the world is. Please, take a moment to let us know in the comments where you are watching from today. History is a story told through objects. A soldier's sword tells us of conflict. A farmer's plough tells us of sustenance. A poet's scroll tells us of thought. But what happens when we find an object that tells us nothing? What happens when the past leaves behind a mystery so complete it challenges our very understanding of a civilization we thought we knew? This is the Roman Dodecahedron. Over 120 of these strange, intricate objects have been found, scattered across the northern frontiers of the Roman Empire. They are hollow, cast from bronze, and defined by 12 flat pentagonal faces, each with a hole of a different size and 20 small knobs, one at each corner. They are clearly the product of a sophisticated and skilled society. There is just one enormous problem. We have absolutely no idea what they are. Not one. There is not a single mention of them in any surviving Roman text. No depiction in a mosaic, no carving on a relief, no reference in a letter or inventory. Pliny the Elder, who wrote about everything, never saw one. Vitruvius, the great Roman engineer, never described one. They are a true historical enigma. A complex gadget with no instructions, a tool with no purpose, a silent message from the edge of the empire that, 2,000 years later, we are still desperately trying to read. These objects aren't a new discovery. The first recorded dodecahedron was found in England in 1739, described by an antiquarian as a piece of ancient brass. Since then, they have been regularly unearthed, from the fields of France and Belgium to the riverbeds of Germany and the ruins of Roman villas in Britain. Where they are found is just as baffling as what they are. They don't seem to be common items. Some have been discovered in the ruins of wealthy Gallo-Roman villas, suggesting they were objects of value. Others have been found in the sacred spaces of temples, suggesting a ritual purpose. A few have even turned up in military camps along the Rhine, adding a martial puzzle to the mix. They are most often found alongside caches of coins, which allows us to date them reliably to the 2nd, 3rd and 4th centuries AD. This places them in the High and Late Roman Empire, but they are almost never found with other tools. They are not in blacksmith shops, not in carpenter's kits. This suggests they were something different. Crucially, they are not standardized. They range in size from just 4 centimeters to over 11 centimeters. The craftsmanship varies from crude and simple to extraordinarily ornate, sometimes decorated with silver inlay. This lack of uniformity makes it highly unlikely they were a standard-issue military or engineering device. A unique object, found in villas, temples, and camps, with no instructions and no standard size. The puzzle is almost perfect. For centuries, the most practical minds have tried to reverse engineer its purpose. What if it was a tool, one so common that no one bothered to write it down? If these questions, these tangible mysteries that defy simple answers, are what you seek, I invite you to subscribe to the Dusty Codex. Our journey is not about finding easy answers, but about savouring the profound, complex questions that history leaves behind. Let's explore the practical theories. The most popular one, especially given their northern, cold weather location, is that they were a knitting gauge. The knobs could be used to stretch and hold the fingers of a glove, and the different holes could be used to measure yarn thickness. It's a plausible domestic theory, but why are they so complex? And why find one in a temple? Another theory suggests it was a surveying instrument or a rangefinder for artillery. By looking through 2 opposite holes, an officer could, in theory, calculate the distance to an enemy wall. But again, the lack of standardization is a fatal flaw. If every dodecahedron is different, they cannot be used for reliable, repeatable measurements. A simpler idea, a candlestick holder. The 12 faces, each with a different sized hole, could accommodate 12 different sizes of standard Roman candles. This is plausible, but it feels like a tremendous amount of bronze and artistry for such a mundane task, one that a simple clay spike could solve. It doesn't feel right. This brings us to the other, more enigmatic possibility. What if the dodecahedron was never meant to be a tool at all? What if its purpose was spiritual? This theory is bolstered by the fact that several have been found in temple contexts, and some are made of precious metals, suggesting they were not for everyday work. Perhaps it was a divination device, a sacred die. The 12 faces could correspond to the 12 signs of the zodiac, or 12 specific gods or prophecies. A priest could roll the object and interpret the result based on which face landed up or which hole the sun shone through. This would fit the non-standardized holes. Perhaps each one was calibrated for a specific temple or oracle. The number 12 is deeply symbolic in many cultures. 12 months, 12 zodiac signs, 12 Olympians. The dodecahedron, as a geometric form, was associated by the Greek philosopher Plato with the very element of the universe itself. This object could have been a powerful symbol, a model of the cosmos held in the hand, or a more mundane version of the same idea. It was a game. A complex, 12-sided die for a game of chance that has been completely lost to history. This would explain its presence in both villas and military camps, but again, feels slightly anticlimactic for such a beautifully crafted object. Today, we are no closer to a definitive answer. We have 3D scanned them, recreated them with 3D printers, and tested every plausible theory. The knitters say it's a clumsy tool. The surveyors say it's inaccurate. The astronomers say it's too simple. The truth is, none of the theories fit all the facts. This leads to one final, tantalizing theory. What if it was a secret? Perhaps it was a masterpiece, a final test for a smith to prove his skill and be admitted to a secret guild. This would explain the high craftsmanship and the lack of standardization. Its function was to exist, to prove mastery. Or perhaps its purpose was tied to a mystery cult, a local Gallo-Roman religion whose rites and tools were forbidden to be written down. This would perfectly explain the total silence in Roman texts. It was a sacred object whose meaning was only transmitted orally, and when that cult died, the secret of the dodecahedron died with it. The Roman dodecahedron remains one of history's most perfect puzzles. It is a testament to the fact that we do not know everything about the ancient world. It is a silent 12-sided challenge, a beautifully crafted piece of the Roman mind that was, for some reason, deliberately left unwritten, waiting for an answer that may never come.